Okay, great. Okay, so today's date is, Jennifer, can you help me with that? Oh my gosh. All right, so it's April 22nd,
21st, 20,
22nd, April 22nd,
22nd. Oh my
and it is
goodness, it's gone fast.
2:08 p.m. This is Michelle Reyes, and I have Jennifer Avallo. We are both in the real estate industry. And when COVID happened, we both decided to get the insurance license and add that to our scope of services because we found a magnificent way to tie the real estate and the insurance together as it's a partnership for life. If you have a house, you should have insurance for life. And either way, you should have insurance, even if you don't have a house. But here today, we're concentrating on something that's called mortgage payment protection and why you should have it. So first of all, most of America dreams of having their dream house. Is that true or false, Jennifer? Can you still hear me?
True. Yeah,
Okay,
I can still hear
great.
you.
So
That is true.
wasn't the most glamorous house that a person can draw. So the point is, a person, they work their whole life. Some people get lucky and they own their house as early as 21 and never had to rent an apartment because they have parents with money, or I don't know, they just maybe inherited. But for some people, most people work very hard to buy that first property. I mean, you're putting everything into this house. True or false, Jennifer?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
so
agree.
then you would think if you're going to put all this money into this house, that's the most important thing, and you're going to have a mortgage, and then you have no protection against the mortgage, that makes no kind of sense. So this mortgage protection is basically a term policy, and it could be done with the whole policy, but it's much more cheaper when you do it with term. So most people, what they would like, I'm drawing a rainbow right now. I don't know if you could see it. That's the rainbow. That means that the person gets a policy that protects everything. And I'm going to call that the rainbow. And that is a policy that pays for 100% of the mortgage, which is the full mortgage coverage. But here's the thing. If a person is elderly and they're applying for this and they're over 50 and they've had cancer or they've had any kind of illness, it's probably going to be expensive to cover that whole entire mortgage. So a second option, so that was option one, full mortgage. Forget my handwriting, but that takes care of the whole mortgage. The second option is you cover half the mortgage. So here in the bottom, I'm just going to write something here. That's just the ground. So maybe you want to put some kind of protection, so you pay for half the mortgage. So I'm going to just write a line there, half the mortgage. So if the mortgage was, and let's put a value on this house, Jennifer. I'm going to say this house is 500,000. This is the house that you bought, 500,000. Okay, so 500,000. So the full mortgage protection, God forbid something happened to you, would pay off the whole 500,000. The second option is half, which is about 250,000. Okay. And then a third option is called a critical period. And I'm going to put a little arrow from the third choice. Now, Jennifer, without me continuing, which coverage do you think you prefer that you have? Number one, number two, or number three?
I think a lot of people would like number one, but I can only imagine that it may not be totally necessary. I'm sure there are different ways of doing it, right?
Okay, and let's just confirm, on that $500,000 house, let's just say that their payment every month is 2,500. Okay,
Okay.
that's the monthly payment. All right. So in scenario number one, you have the whole entire 500,000. The person, something happens, the wife or the husband, or whoever's the beneficiary, can just take and pay off the whole house and never worry about a mortgage payment again. So, and let's just pretend that plan is, let me put a number to it. That plan is $200 a month. Now, I want to point out that when you don't own this house, you could remove that insurance also, just like when you own a car. If you don't have the car anymore, you don't need the insurance. But you also have the option to keep it for another type of the money can be used for any purpose. So the person that inherited this 500,000, they could decide to use 250,000 and pay the half the mortgage, or and live the other money. That choice is going to be up to the beneficiary. But let's look at scenario number two, which is half the mortgage, 250,000. So let's pretend that coverage was $100 a month. And then in the last scenario, where it's the critical period, what I like you to do is I like you to do 2,500 times 12. I don't have a calculator with me. I don't know if you can do that number for me. I'm not as fast with the math as I should, but hang on. Let me see if I get us a number.
It was 30,000.
Okay, 30,000. I'm gonna just write this next to it. So that times 12, you said it's 30,000.
2,500, yes.
Okay, so the critical period, if you could get for $50 a month, so then 30, so then you said that's 30,000. So in the third critical period, one of the things that you could do is you could have like an option. If you only got a policy that instead of it being $500,000, the policy, or 250,000, you could maybe take a policy for 100,000. And if you took that $100,000 policy, that payment could be more or less $50 a month. So the question right here, right now is, you already agreed that definitely you want to protect the mortgage, right? That it would make smart sense. So which one is your scenario? So can you afford, or would you want to put $50 a month aside, $100 a month, or would you want to sacrifice and have the whole house protected? So which option do you like best for yourself, Jennifer?
I like the fact that it's affordable, and I would think that as I'm paying off my house, there's probably less of a need for me to put the whole amount. So I go for the second one, where at least half of it is covered and the payment is still reasonable, and then perhaps I could put that investment elsewhere.
Okay, so that's good. And I think that's a very significant point that you put out there. So let's look at a 30-year mortgage. And I want to save this, so I don't want to lose it. So I'm not positive how to do it. Like I want a new window. Give me a second, so that way I don't lose this window. Oh, wow, look at that. I made it bigger. I can make it smaller. Okay, I wanted a new page. And this is the first time I'm using this. Okay, great. So I'm gonna figure this out. New page. It has to be easier than that. Okay, no. Okay, I was trying to get rid of it. All right, let's see. Oh no, I'm gonna get, okay, so that I did get rid of it. Hang on, I want to go part 2 of this. But that was a very significant point. and I want to horn in on it. Okay, so this is, you just said, and we were just talking about, let's just say this is the, okay. Let me put a pencil here, pencil.
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay, so this right here is a timeline. This is year 1, this is year 15, this is year 30. So at first, for the first 15 years, you're barely paying any principal. So you kind of have like the whole thing. And after the 15th year, so it's something like this, it's like a bell. So initially in the first 15 years, you're paying a lot of interest. So we talked about a $2,500 payment that you're making every single month. Those first 15 years, probably 2,000 more or less is going on the interest and only 500 to the principal. And with the time of life, it starts to go down, but it doesn't until the 15th year that now the interest payments get smaller and the principal gets bigger. So that being said, if you took a the protection for only half the mortgage, so that's right there. So if you only took it for half the mortgage, you got your family through that amount. So like if something happened to you in the 15th year, well, at that moment, the 250,000, that's going to cover the remaining part of that house. So I think that's pretty powerful. All right. So any questions, Jennifer? I'm done. What I want
No, I think that was pretty awesome.
Oh man, I lost my other page. That's so terrible. That's so terrible. So what I wanted to say is, you know, I didn't get to draw it out. But the best part about this whole thing is, here it is. If you are a parent. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. I'm going to do it like, just erase it, because you know what? It was recording anyway, right? So I wanted to get a little quick screen. All right. Bear with me. My first time using it. You're always so patient, Jen. That's awesome. But I think we're learning.
You have to be. We're learning.
We're learning and growing together.
That's right.
We're like baby boomers with young people now. Okay, so I don't know how to get rid of all of that, but what I wanted to say, the best thing about this policy that I'm talking to you about, right? We just talked about your house, but really, isn't a house a physical element? Don't you care more about your family? Like, what do you care more to protect? The house, the physical house, or your family? So,
family. Yeah.
Right. So this plan that I'm talking about, this term policy, if you happen to be a parent, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is like, for your family, the living benefits, it continues on, you know, so like if anything happened to you, or when I say like it lives on, first of all, if something happened to you, you have the living benefits that you can tap into. But if something did happen to you and you had a plan that's called Foresters, I just wanted to give an example. They will pay, God forbid something happened to you, they have a thing. They will pay $900 per month per kid of to the age of 18 years old. And then after the 18, they'll pay for college to the age of 21. Also, besides like protecting the house, you're really protecting your family where and this is beside the death benefit. These are extra benefits. So I particularly love the Foresters if you are a parent. We have different programs. So it's almost like when you look at a Cadillac and you look at a Pinto, you know, they both can drive, but one has a lot more benefits than the other in terms of the luxury blings. So if you want to know how to put a policy together for yourself and get some numbers and to see what we can do for you, give us a call. And I'm going to get better with this board thing. This was the first one. I think I did pretty good. What do you think, Jennifer?
I think you did phenomenal. You did a great job.
All right. So I got that off. Yeah. And you know, I'm doing this from my car. So that's the thing that I think is
You still
really,
recording it?
yeah. And it's cool
Oh,
because
okay.
I like,
Yeah.
I like raw and real, Jennifer. So right now
Yeah.
it's a Saturday. Everybody's maybe having fun wherever they are on a beach. And I'm hard working here from my car right now. And Jennifer's
That's
wherever she's
right.
at. And we're just making a sacrifice of 2 hours of this day to power up, skill up. And the name of our team is Sunshine Group. That's the name of our team. We are part of Symmetry Financial Group, and we are part of eXp Realty. And if you like what you saw today, we have some workshops happening, and they all revolve around all right. So
Yep.
we some
You kind of
is
went in and out, Michelle.
okay. So anyway, that was done. We're concluding this presentation. That's just some information on what we do. We're part of Symmetry Financial Group and eXp Realty. The name of our team is the Sunshine Group, and we're about putting some educational series workshops that are about empowering others and helping people build their lives and their portfolios. And that's it. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here. I'll catch you on the phone.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Now, if I can close it out, will be wonderful.